Who and welcome back to the stream. As the title suggests and as promised, today I'm gonna make a song breakdown for Fly Away. I think I already announced it 2 weeks ago and just completely messed up my schedule. I think I just saw it wrong in the schedule. But today's the day, finally. So I will first go through. Well, let me make this a little louder. Yeah. I will first go. That's too much. Through a little bit of the creative process first. Personally, I always think it's very interesting to see what I can learn out of the production of the song. I think that's kind of probably the point why you tuned in the first place. You want to learn something about music production or about the creative process yourself. And then I simply show the project and show how everything was made. I'm very kind of proud that I was able to open the old project. It's actually everything's working, including the mastering chain, so you can see everything, how it was made. So first of all, what I usually do, or let me put it another way. What I found interesting about this way, the song is, it was one of the songs that I didn't really realize that it had potential in the first place. So what I usually do is I make layouts, which is I sit down usually every day and try and make one half of a song or a song idea per day. Sometimes I make 2 per day, sometimes I make 8 per day, but then very, very quickly. But usually it's 1 per day. I get to different degrees. I just realized I have to fix something here real quick so you can hear what I want to show you. Okay, and so I just collect a lot of creative material, and then later on I decide which ones to finish. I think this might already for producers be interesting information, because I sometimes hear up-and-coming producers, they're frustrated that they have so many unfinished songs. Well, I have hundreds and hundreds of unfinished songs on my hard drive, and we're gonna listen through a couple of them in a second. So I think there's no point in there's no shame in having unfinished songs. I think that's a natural part of the process, and I only want to finish songs that I really, really believe in and that I find really, really exciting. So let me play you some first. It's kind of interesting because at that time I was making quite a few songs that I finished. Usually I have a rate of 1 out of 20. At this time, I think I have 10 songs here, and I think I've finished 3 out of those 10. Let me play you some. Oh no, I wanted to start here, I think. This is probably a little loud. Let me play it. So that's the idea, basically. Not too spectacular, in my opinion. Then we have this one here. And so on and so forth. I don't know where this is going. Anyway, let's go on with the next one. So this one's actually pretty cool. I like this. So when I prepared for this song breakdown, I listened to those ideas again. So you could put vocals on this one. It's just the drop isn't quite there. So this could be a pre-chorus right now. Some singing over this. Here it comes. Yeah, it's a little chaotic. And then a few days later, I made this one, which you probably know. First released it as Origin and then finally wrapped it up with vocals as Close to the Sun. You know that? And I did this one. Then tried some glitch hop ideas again. You can hear it's very rough ideas. You will hear in a second. I don't know. Maybe I was planning to put some vocals on this, or I don't know. Oblivion. Yeah, so you see, it's just produced a lot of stuff, and some is kind of not so good, and some is better. I think personally, when I hear this Oblivion idea, I immediately like it. And then I did this here. So this is just a sample that I chopped up. It's from Bright Lights, which it's funny because I know her. So this is a splice sample actually. I just chopped up the melody. I think I modified the melody as well. But I know I had a session with her in Los Angeles, I think 2011 or so. So that was years before I produced Fly Away. So I made the entire thing in one day. And then went back to this. This is important later. So just kind of copy-pasted the entire thing because I didn't know anything what to do about it. So this is the initial creative approach. It's just produce a lot of stuff. So this was all done in August, September 2016. Fly Away was released in June 2017, and Oblivion was released even later. So for me, the idea is just to collect a lot of stuff. I could play you a ton more. This is just like some stuff that I did around that time. Yeah, so the idea is just produce a lot of stuff because, as you heard, not everything's great, right? You won't like everything, but and this here I produced this here that I just played to you, and I thought, yeah, was okay. And then I don't know, like probably 4 weeks later or so, I made a lot more. I usually listen through the stuff. Oh, let me see what it is. No. No, I don't have it here. So, and never mind. So a few weeks later, I was okay, let's finish some songs. And I was sitting down together with my wife, and I was just listening to all the stuff that I just played to you. And she said about this one, she said, this is great. You should make something out of this. And I thought, really? I don't know. I have no idea where to go with it. And then I signed to Universal Records, which was a big mistake. But never mind. And they said, hey, can you send us some song ideas that you have? And since my wife said she liked this one, I thought I'd just include it there. And I had 2 A&Rs, one from Sweden, one from Germany, and they both said, hey, this is great, you should finish this. And I thought, I don't know. I especially had no idea what to do after the first drop. And then I remember going, a few days later, I went eating sushi for dinner with my wife, and we were talking about which song I should finish. And she said, Chris, I think this specific one, like I like it, and the guys from the record company, everybody seems to like it. You should finish it. And I was like, yeah, I think it might have some potential, but I don't know like where to go with it. And I was just eating sushi and thinking about it. And then all of a sudden I said, wait a second, maybe what could be interesting is after the first drop, when the da-da-da-dum, da-dum-dum, da-da-da-dum, da-dum-bum, when this comes back, don't go back to how it played the first time, but make it like really like orchestral and very like mysterious in ways, with maybe a little bit of Asian flavor. So it's just like, I don't know, like one of these kung fu movies that these like there some Chinese kung fu movies that I loved watching as a young, like when I was like a teenager, and captured a little bit of that vibe. And so I was eating sushi and trying to imagine how the melody would sound with a koto maybe, and how it would sound with orchestra. And then why this happens for me to me sometimes, that while I'm doing something else, I'm kind of putting the stuff together in my head. I think that's really really helpful when you can do that. It's nothing that I was born with. It's just when you make a lot of music, especially when you listen to a lot of stuff and you replay it on any instrument. Could be a guitar, it could be a piano, or anywhere else. So if you're just used to listening to stuff and then replaying it, then you can also just imagine stuff, if that makes sense. So I was trying to actually composing a lot of the breakdown while eating sushi. And my wife already knows when I'm in that mode, she better doesn't disturb me, because something important might come out of it. Often nothing important comes out of it, but sometimes something important comes out of it. Yeah, so, and I was thinking about it for like 5 minutes, and then I said, yeah, I think I got it. I think I figured it out while eating sushi. And the next day I went home and wrote this part here. And this one, well, like, wait a second, yeah, with there's like pizzicato strings. That was the most important part for me that I imagined, and it worked. So sometimes you imagine stuff and then you try to produce it and it doesn't really work. In this case, it worked, which was great. Yeah, and then I actually asked Bright Lights, who was doing the sample, because I knew her, if she wanted to sing it, but she was like, no, I want to focus on my own music. And then I had, I don't know, I don't want to say anything wrong. I think I had 9 recording sessions with 5 different singers, including Laura Brem, because I was working with her before. I thought, hey, maybe she can sing it well as well. But I wasn't really trying to imagine how she would sound on the song, which was a big mistake, which I do way more now. I try to really imagine the singer and really try to imagine how the singer would sound on the song. So now my quota of having a singer and then it fits is way, way better than back then. But back then I had her sing, and I think this is one example that I always give. There's no such I don't think there's a universally good singer, especially very outstanding singers like Laura, for example. They are really exceptional when they sing a certain style, because they are very unique. And so for the unique voice, you need a very unique song that matches that voice. And this song doesn't match her voice at all, because especially the chorus and da, 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 this one here, absolutely doesn't work with her voice. As amazing as she is as a singer. But yeah, it just needs to fit. Yeah, and so I had her sing it, and then I hired different singers as well, and one that I knew from Munich back in the days, and no, that was a different track. Yeah, and then Anjulie, who I knew since 2010, she had reached out to me saying like, hey Chris, maybe do you have anything that I could sing? And I just sent her the song, and I told her just to do a demo on her phone. So no recording session at all, just demo it. And I pretty soon thought, okay, I think that could work, because the challenging part is to sound nice and sweet here, and then sound really powerful here. And even when she was only singing it on her phone, I realized, okay, this is gonna work. Yeah, and then wrapped up the song and released it, and it did. I must still say, well, back then it did way better than I expected it. I thought it would be a good song. I wouldn't have thought that it would like surpass Monody and Unity, for example, and Xenogenesis in place on Spotify and everything. So yeah, always I'm kind of bad sometimes with predicting how my songs will do. Yeah, but in the end, of course, I was very, very happy that I created it and that I released it. So let's have a look. This is a little bit of the backstory. Yeah. So what are my takeaways? Real quick. Wait, let me go back to this real quick. So what are my takeaways? First of all, just keep creating. You never know, because this one as well. I didn't think immediately, okay, I didn't have a plan for the song. I didn't think immediately, okay, this is great, this is outstanding. But I just kept making stuff. And then the second lesson for me is play to other people and get some feedback. Because if I would have never recognized that I should finish the song, but since I played it to other people, those people told me, Chris, you should really finish it. And that gave me the idea to finish it. So that's my second lesson. And yeah, then just... That's something that I do anyway. It's just like come back to the song again and again, because it was while eating sushi that I suddenly had the idea, okay, now I have a vision for the song. So not just blindly do anything, but keep overthinking. Yeah, good advice. Keep creating ideas about the song. So if it's not working, keep creating new ideas how you could approach it. And for me, like while talking about it with my wife and eating sushi, that was for me the epiphany where I said, okay, now the entire thing makes sense to me. Okay, now we're gonna. So those are my takeaways, my personal takeaways from the song. So this is the project. I hope you can see everything, and I hope place. Okay. We just go. Let's have a look at the structure real quick. It's basically, as you can easily tell, it's like 3 important melodic elements plus the bridge. So this one here. So this is the riff, instrumental riff, and then she sings on it. It's the same melody. And again, the same melody. And then the melody it's kind of the same thing again. So this one here. Because I made it out of the sample, if you remember this one. So it was called Radical. Because I made it out of the sample. Wait a second. And since I used the same sample for the pre-chorus, so it's the same thing. It's just basically chopped up. So the chopped up melody is the pre-chorus. So it's very musically, it's very, very close to the. It's this one, right? Same, just the same, same thing again that you already knew, and then something completely new happens in the chorus. And that's already the second motive, if you will. Like the first one was that covers the entire verse and it covers the entire pre-chorus. And then we have something completely new. That one. Because that repeats and then repeats again an octave lower. And now we have the breakup coming, and this is the same thing that you already know. Now, this is the intro. And it's also the verse. And it's And it's also what you have here. And then we have, which is musically this. It's this. Da, 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 da. Then we have the chorus again that we already know, and then something new comes. Here. No, actually not. I'm mistaken. Sorry. This is the beginning again.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly. Come and fly away. Come and fly away. Come and fly away with me.
With a little variation.
Come and fly away. Come and fly away.
It's just this here chopped up.
Come and fly away with me.
Right? And then
Nothing's gonna bring a change. Journeys we are meant to take.
so, why am I explaining this to you? So for me, especially when you have these things where you kind of go on a journey, I think one way to tie it all together, and I did the same thing in Monody, is to have very little musical elements. So in Monody, it's the dum da dum dum dum. So it's dum da dum dum ba 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 da ba da da dum dum and da da da. Those three elements make the entire song of 5 minutes. So that's an example. And here's same thing. And then these few music elements is the entire song. It's just arranged in different ways. Yeah, so let's look into the production then. Actually, the production is kind of simple. So the intro bell is just, this is just a Nexus preset. And then I have the muted guitar later on top. Together. And then I have this bell support here. Yeah, this is a very dry. So this is supposed to give it a little more meat, a little more mid frequencies. I think it was this here alone sounded a little thin. And together with this, has a little more. It's a little more. Has a little more meat to it. And then I just took this hit here. This. Just one note. Reversed it. And automated the pan, as you can see here. So it goes like from left to right. And then very important.
Come and fly away with me.
Now the same sound keeps playing, but listen how different it's mixed. So this is the intro. And then once the vocals come in. Oh, I don't know what's wrong with the reverb here, but anyway. So it's mixed a lot more, a lot softer.
Come and fly away with me.
It might be that there's something wrong with the reverb here that I opened after so many years. But yeah, you get the idea. You just need to make a lot of space for the vocal. And then I have, this is very simple stuff here. So this was a percussion loop here. And I just chopped little parts out of it. The way I did this, originally I had the entire loop. So it sounded like this here.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
But it's a little too much. So what
Come and fly away with me. Come and
you'll notice that it's the part where the vocals stop. So this is also, it's something that I keep saying is, if you produce it right, the mixing is easy and there's basically no mastering. I get to the mastering later, by the way. I have the entire mastering chain still here. So if you produce it right, mixing is easy. So this is production, making sure you don't have to mix a lot. Because if you keep this running, like if this would run the entire time,
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with
it's kind of like working against the vocals here. Not much, but a little bit. Just cut it away. So, vocal stop. So you have this little interesting part here happening. And then and that's it. So this is already everything that's going on here. Vocals.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
I think I might have printed these. There's a little mixing going on. I have also.
Come and fly away with me.
I have. Oh, wait a second.
Come and fly away with me.
So I need the return tracks here.
Come and fly away with me.
So this is a doubler. So this is just pitching up the signal on the one side and then pitching it down on the other side. So it looks like this. So on the what's this? On the left side, you have it pitched down just slightly 6 cent, and on the right side, I think you have it pitched up. No, on the other way around. So on one side is pitched down 6 cents, on the other side is pitched up 6 cents. So you mix this in a little bit. Just gives a little stereo effect. So if I turn it off, it's more centered. Just makes it a little broader. And then we have just a dry echo. And then what I really like is the RC24. I don't know why I say 25. RC24 reverb that I used a lot at that time. Still using it these days. So nothing crazy. Just chopped up the vocal here. It's just simply. And then nothing crazy happening here. It's mostly another hi-hat coming in. So and this one goes a little faster. So this it's interesting. So I had the hi-hat on the downbeat. So this is on the downbeat. And then switches to the offbeat. So what this does is it really feels like it's speeding up stuff, right? So if I turn this chord here, chord pump, if I turn this off, it's almost the same thing running. Right? The difference is that is tuck 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 tuck, and then goes and automatically feels like it's moving forward a little bit more. Okay, and then I have these. This is just a silent preset, just following the chords. And the filter is slowly opening. So it's just some modulation data here. It's the late mouse preset from Silent. Obviously inspired by the Cascade and Dead Mouse remix, I think, especially from, what's that? I always forgot the song names. Yeah, but anyway, so I remember the song name, so I remember. So slowly opening, and since it plays a lot faster than anything else that was going on before, because before we were tukka tunka tung tung tum, right, dung, and everything was like on the downbeats, and now we're playing eighth notes, and it feels like it's speeding up. And then one thing that I really like to do is put a vocoder on it. And so, yeah, the entire thing feels as if it's speeding up, and it feels like something is happening. And it's so honestly a little interesting to me because the vocals just repeat themselves, and it's just "Come Fly Away With Me" again and again and again and again, right? If you just listen to these vocals, little chops.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me.
Same thing again.
Come and fly away
Right?
with me.
Nothing crazy happening. It's just the instrumental that's really picking up.
With me.
It really is.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away.
A little bell here. Let me turn the... this is from Dune 2. The synth, I think, is also just a preset.
Fly away with me.
With a little EQ. This is maybe interesting for you. So I used the de-esser to... So I made it... it was pretty harsh. So I didn't want it to be so full. So I wanted a thin sound, but I also wanted it to be not harsh. So when you just... So this is how... Let me show you. This is how the original sound... This is how it sounded like. So I put some delay and reverb on it. But then it would sound like this. Right, so it's full, but it's also harsh. So I took out the low frequencies, so to make it thinner. Right? And then I used the de-esser. This is just the waves de-esser to take away the harshness. Because if I would just I boosted the high frequencies, which made it really harsh, because I wanted a thin sound. So it's kind of what you do when it's harsh. So you just take the de-esser to take away the harshness in the beginning.
Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Come and fly away with me. Don't you be afraid, everything will change.
And then we have this is this is like the oldest Nexus preset, the lead accelerator. Old Nexus. I don't know, Nexus 4. I don't know, whatever. I usually have it different because this is the old Ableton version that I'm using at the moment. That's the Rosetta version, so everything looks different than I know it. Anyway, so this is the accelerator, which is like the standard Nexus lead, but I really like it. I really like doing this. So you can make like really fat chords and just mix it under the rest, and really feels. And if then you open up the filter, it really feels like something's happening. So there's not a lot to it. It's just here the high cut filter opening, and then a low cut filter thinning it out. Right. And then just this, I think it's just a sine wave under it. There's an what's this? Oh, I think this is an Omnisphere church choir. I just printed it. And there's still like this trap what we did back in the days. Probably never heard it before, whenever aware of it. And then there's the typical like noise riser. It's this stuff here. There's a little bit of snare with a pitch. I think this is probably Cashmere splice sample. So I think it makes sense to focus on some things that you make special. I think in this case it was especially the chord progression, especially ending it on the major chord. And production-wise, as you can hear, a lot of the stuff is not crazy, right? It's just some risers that I produced myself, like very, very like standard stuff. But I don't think you need to like reinvent everything with every song. Rather focus on some important things that where you want to innovate, not everything at once. Yeah, at least not always. And then we have this effect here. This is actually just one effect. So if I mute this one here, there's nothing going on. So it's just this one effect here. And that is from the library. It's a Native Instruments. I think it's called Orchestral Hits. Rise and Hit or something orchestral. I don't really recall the exact name. But it's from Native Instruments. It's a Contact library where you have a lot of these short build-up, orchestral like glissando strings and pizzicato runs and stuff like that, and you have it combined. And I think this is one of those. Yeah, and then it's this is one sound. Yeah, I just took the second half and wait a second, I can show you. Yeah, so this is the full sound. Yeah, that would be the full sound. I just took the second half and EQ'd it a lot because otherwise it was messing up the beginning of the drop. I can show it to you here if it would be like this. Yeah, you have the. It's just getting in the way of the drop. Yeah, and then we go to the drop. Very simple drums, I think. So it's this. Yeah. This is I think the standard bamboo snare. Probably pitched it a little bit with some reverb on it. This is the bamboo snare. This is like the typical bamboo snare. And this I think is a tabla. Tabla, I don't know how to make it even more tonal. And then just a little snap. And then just some typical crashes. This is an explosion sound from Vengeance sound that I've used since 20 years. Still using it sometimes to this day. Just works. Crash. Another. So this sometimes I do when I feel like there needs to be a little bit more high frequency in the crash, and it's just missing a little bit of the psst. I think I made this myself. Yeah, this is silent. So just white noise and just filtered it. Just to add on more. This can work better than pushing up the high frequencies, right? So if you push up the high frequencies and make it harsh, if you just put really white noise on top, like this, you get the high frequencies, but it's very soft at the same time. So this can help you. And then it's just the sound that you heard before. And that's that. And then what do you have here? So this is the sub bass. This is just silent, very simple. It's a square filtered. And then probably, no, it doesn't even have drive on it. It's just a square, so if I turn the filter off. Oh no, there's a sign. What's that? This? Oh, Ah, this is interesting. So since it's very low, what I did is I added one voice of sine on the octave. So that way it's, and then when you filter it, so it's this oscillator and this oscillator. That way it cuts through better on small speakers. So when I would just have, if I just had this, and you would listen on a small device like a mobile phone or just small boxes, you wouldn't really hear the bass because it's just outside of the frequency range. So by adding another oscillator here, and those are completely in sync, so both have retrigger on, so they're in phase. You can adjust the phase here. So that way you make sure that you can hear the bass also on small speakers. So that's that. That's the foundation. I think, yeah, exactly. So the rest of the stuff that's going on in the instruments is just this brass here. And you can see here, I cut away everything under 85 Hertz. So all the low frequency stuff comes only from the bass and the kick. Yeah. Yeah. If I turn those two off, there's no low frequency stuff left. So that's a good way. I usually do that to just clean up the low frequency spectrum. Then we have this here. Those are some trombones. Then horns, very low. And then more, what's that, sforzando horns, I think. Just giving it a little accent. So those are playing the root notes. And then simply horns. So these are, this is all from Native Instruments. Oh, no, yeah, it's Native Instruments. So it's Contact, but it's the East-West Quantum Leap Symphonic Orchestra. It's this one here. I bought this one 2004. 21 years ago. Long time ago. Yeah, and combine those. And this one here is actually the Native Instruments, how's it called? Factory library. They have this swell. I remember printing this and then pushing it around a lot until it fit really well. You can hear it. Yeah, first I had like this. And then I realized, no, it just needs to be here. This is a nice turnaround. Usually you could also put like a drum fill or something here, right? If this, because you want something. You want something, so if you leave this away, yeah. You could also put, yeah, like I said, a drum fill too. It's like I did later on. But yeah, doing drum fill twice would be a little boring. So instead, I have this little horn swell here. And I think it's, I'm very, very happy with this one because it brings the brass really to the front, right? So it's there in the beginning, but then you have the vocals going on all the time, right? In the very beginning, you have like half a second where you have boom, the brass, and then it's the singing.
We're rising, we're falling, we're making through.
And then the horn as well, it really brings back the brass. It sounds so much more brassy through this than without, once again.
We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views.
Yeah. Yeah, it just really helps to make you aware, oh, there's actually a brass section playing. Yeah, and then what's going on here? This is actually Anjulie singing as well. I just pitched it down.
We're rising,
So it's
we're rising, we're falling, we're making through.
that's her.
We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring, 1,000 views.
Yeah. So this is all the part that I did in the first day. These are all the parts that I did in the first day. I tweaked it a little bit, but if you listen to the first demo that I showed you before, you can hear that all like 95% of what you hear in the final production was already there. And now comes the part that I did a couple of weeks later. So what already introduces it is the gong. Right? And then this little atmosphere. I think it's already, in my opinion, very important because it's more acoustic. It's not like an EDM thing. Usually you don't use this kind of sound in EDM. Kind of sets the stage. Oh yeah, let me show you those toms real quick. If you're interested. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think this was from the Nexus library, Nexus Hollywood library, I think. I don't remember. How long is it ago? 8 years later, I don't remember always every sound, but it's pretty sure, you know, actually I'm pretty sure it's that. And this is a Lindrum sample, just layered under it. Okay, so. And this is a Koto library that I bought once. I have to look it up, how it's called. Can I open this? In Rosetta. Uh-oh. Not a good idea. Sorry. Oh, it worked. Amazing. Okay. All right. So this is called Koto Nation. So it's a sample library instruments, and I think it has a couple of effects. So I think that it's these here, Koto Nation effects. I think it has this one in it. So it's this, and this is actually a couple of different layered. No, this is a Nexus preset that I tweaked quite a bit, and then I have a more realistic Koto sound in the middle. And all together like this. And now I'm using way more reverb and delay than before. I think that's important because this is way closer, way more direct. Then this is... I don't know, recall exactly where I have this one from. No, I don't remember the exact name of the library, but yeah. It's also a contact library. It has a couple of sounds in it. Also with a lot of reverb and delay, which are already printed in here. And then, of course, the strings do a lot. This is very simple from Nexus Hollywood expansion strings. But then I have this here. So this is later on top. It's already in here. But I wanted to bring out this melody. Yeah, and I think it's a very important part of the song because you're like, okay, cool, I know this, right? The same thing, but also completely different. And when it repeats, it brings in this new, completely new melody. Yeah, yeah. I think it's really important for the song. I think if I'm 100% sure if I would just have gotten back to this one here, it would have like worked way less. So yeah, here's still a little. So this is just an echo. Dong dong. I originally had an echo here as well, but I put in the flute instead. Dun, dun. And then the ding again to like close the phrase. And this is I think tabla it's called. Oh no, it's actually a loop with the tabla. And once again, the gong. So I'm switching from... So this is a gong sound again. So I'm switching from using like more electronic stuff here. Right, we still had like effects like this. Switching from that to using more acoustic stuff. Right, and switching from having claps like this. Like this is drum machine, right? Switching from that to that. And then of course orchestra chimes. And this is also, yeah, I think it's kind of my favorite part of the song. It's a harp. And then you have the double bass. Cello. And I think those are viola pizzicatos. So this is kind of the replacement. It's once again, in the first half of the song, I used this here. Right. So when it repeats, it's replaced with this.
Something at the edge of space.
Once again, simply replacing electronic elements with acoustic elements.
Something's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to fly away.
Here we have one element that is still electronic. This is a silent. Those are just a lot of sine waves. So it's 8 sine waves, and once again 8 sine waves. Just so it's soft but very wide. I think I probably had it with an acoustic flute first, but probably didn't sound that good. And here's just a lot of orchestra stuff going on. It's kind of crazy because it doesn't sound that much. But I think I just have full violas, cellos, double bass, tuba, trombone, horns, timpani. Two drums. I don't know. It all goes through here. Just a little EQ. Oh, and a snare drum. So, same thing once again, instead of using an electronic snare drum. Actually, orchestra snare drum. Also here. Yeah, you have a... This is a Grand Caso, so very huge orchestra bass drum, but it's completely filtered. Because otherwise it would be way too big. This is a timpani. I don't know why it's called cymbal. This is timpani. This is a cymbal. So, everything acoustic. No electronic elements. The gong. And then, basically exactly the same chorus. Same thing that you already know. And then I just have sforzato horns playing like added on the low notes. Oh, wait a second. This was apparently not enough. Yeah, just adds a little kick. Yeah. And the vocals are mixed very wet now. This is still a little drier. And now it gets like very... A lot of reverb, a lot of delay. Freaking amazing vocal performance from Anjulie. We can have a look at the vocal mix in a second. Then we have this just... This is just from the breakdown here. Only without the drums. For some reason I mixed the coda differently. Oh, yeah, okay, because it's an octave lower. Interesting, yeah. So I still made the effort to make it sound differently. Because, yeah, this is how it sounded here. This is how it sounds in the outro. It's just doubled on top of the vocal. That's why the melody is also slightly different.
Nothing's gonna bring the change. Journeys we are meant to take. Something at the edge of space, calling us to
Yeah, this one's nice. Just comes in the very last second. Just to give it some heroic ending. Yeah, man, fun song, I must say. Just, yeah, really enjoyed making this. These parts, like, just did the, like, it was just a layout, as I said before. But then doing all this orchestra stuff, it's something that I really enjoy. Yeah, let's have a look at the vocal mix. Like I said before, the verse is pretty, nothing crazy here. I think here is just, oh, I used sausage fattener on the vocal. Holy shit. And multiband dynamics.
We're rising, we're falling, we're making through. We're climbing, we're soaring.
So those are the
View. We're rising.
pretty harsh. Let me go through it all. Let's see what I did here. So
We're rising, we're falling.
so this is the dry vocal.
We'll make it through.
Then I have,
We're rising, we're falling.
so this is the native instruments, like the how's it called? Massive passive, I think is the
We're rising, we're falling. We'll
EQ.
make it through. We're climbing,
Then more
we're
EQ,
soaring.
just taking out,
We're rising, we're
oops,
falling. We'll make it through.
lowering these frequencies a little bit. Then I have some compression on it.
We're rising, we're falling. We'll make it through.
Then some de-esser.
We're climbing, we're soaring.
Yeah, for the soaring.
We're soaring, we're
Yeah.
soaring.
And then we're going into,
We're soaring.
oh, there's another compressor.
Soaring.
So this is another compressor that compresses like all the other, everything together then. Wait a second. Oh, so in the, I have doubles left and right. And I have like multi-band compression on it, which doesn't do a lot. I don't know. I don't think that this is important. But then I put distortion. So this is something that I built here. It's called sausage compensator. So this is the infamous sausage fattener. Problem with sausage fattener is when you turn up the fatness, it gets really loud. So what I did is I built the sausage compensator, so you can hear the more I turn up the fatness, the more it reduces the output gain. Right? So yeah, it's still a little louder. And then I don't know why I completely compressed the low frequencies here. And then H delay from waves. So now I'm just adding space. So reverb, and then compressed after the reverb. No. This is a sidechain compression to the kick. Interesting. So you can see whenever the kick is playing here, it pushes the vocals back a little bit. Interesting choice. Probably would do it differently today. Another de-esser. And oh yeah. This is actually, it sounds small, but if it's just the scale. Okay, so here I was catching a lot of the harsh frequencies. So back then I don't know if it even existed, Soothe or something like that. So today there are other tools that can fix harsh frequencies easier. And then I did a little automation. So on the high, just lowered it a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, this would be without this. This looks crazy. It's like probably every music producer would do, like say like never do this. But if you leave it away, yeah, there's some like very specific. Wait a second. Oh, I have to turn it on. Yeah. I can still hear it. On we, there's like just one sh. We. This. Yeah. Hear that? The weep. On the E vowels. Kind of weird sounding stuff. Yeah. And let's get to the mastering chain. It's, as I usually describe my mastering chain, pretty simple. Oh, interesting. So some volume automation. This is before everything else. So typical little trick is before the chorus, just lower the volume. Not much. Well, actually, well, it's yeah, it's a little bit. It's like 3 decibel. This is interesting. So I'm pulling up the reverb. If you leave this away, it just drops. And here, just bringing up the reverb. Yeah, and then the chorus simply hits harder, probably doing the same thing. Oh yeah, but here I didn't need to do it because the reverb from the orchestra was louder anyway. Yeah, so some loudness automation. Then just a little bit of kind of raising the higher frequencies. I don't know why I did it this way. It's a weird way. So it's just a little EQ, just adding above 6K. And then a little bit of saturation. And then a limiter. It's pretty limiting, pretty crazy. Yeah. Did my camera just go off? Yeah, I think the camera went off. Let me restart it. Let me see if it comes back. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Wait. Let me fix this. That's better. Okay. Yeah, that was pretty much about it. So this is the mastering chain. So it's usually, as I described, it's a little bit of EQ. Oh, I added another EQ here. I don't know why to put it into a second EQ. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, cut off the very low frequency. So this is 30 hertz, cut off anything under 30 hertz and added around 240 hertz again. Little saturation. So little EQ, little saturation, and limiter. So let me fix the, oh yeah, actually I have this. I think if I take this all away. So this is without mastering. This is with mastering. With mastering. Without mastering. Yeah, you hear that overall it's not quite balanced. So this is why I fixed these frequencies here. You can clearly hear that, but that's it about it. So it's basically a little bit of EQ to make everything fit together. Yeah, and that's the song. Let me know if you have any questions, because I must admit I didn't follow the chat at all. Did you need the vocals to perform the instrumental? No, not at all. I did all the instrumental stuff first. What DAW does your daughter use? She plays on my hang drum. She doesn't use a DAW at the moment. Did you use any plugins to check the volume levers? No. I also don't use plugins to check how loud the output is. So I think it shows you. So if I turn this on. So this, you have like all this information here. So there's like at -8 and people care about that. I personally don't. Did you write the lyrics of the song? Yeah, together with John. So the Come Fly Away With Me, that came from me. Basically because it sounded, the demo that I did with the chopped up sample, it already sounded a little bit like that. So, oh wait, let me go back to this so you can see me. So that already sounded a little bit like that. And then John and I got into, John wrote some lyrics, which some of them worked, some of them didn't. And then we went into a session and I think took an afternoon to wrap everything up. How did you design those synths? Are you using any Serum plugins? So I didn't use any Serum on this one, I think, if I recall correctly. And there's not a lot of synthesizer stuff going on, to be honest. It's the bells in the intro, which I showed you. It's simply two different Nexus presets combined. And then it's mostly acoustic instruments. So it's more about arranging acoustic brass section rather than programming synthesizers. I think that's probably why it caught some attention, because it uses electronic beats but combines it with orchestra in a way that's not that common, at least. Do you usually master in the same project? Yeah, absolutely. Always, almost always. Any news from Record Shop yet? Nothing definitive yet. I don't want to promise anything until I know anything definitive. Did your daughter choose the name Sprites? Yeah, we chose it together. How many plugins do you usually use for mastering? Yes, these days I must admit I use a little bit more, but it's usually maybe a little bit of OTT these days. Saturation, EQ, limiter. That's usually about it. I love the lyrics. Thank you very much. Where you didn't make the vocal recording session. So this vocal recording session, Anjulie, I think she had someone in Los Angeles who was doing the recording, and I could listen. I think I was listening through Skype or something like that. Just listening in the background. Didn't hear the vocal quality, so I would rely on that the recording quality was good, but I could hear the performance. So I would give her feedback on the performance. You mentioned in the past that the guy in Parallax hair was meant to be brown instead of blue. Does that still hold true today? I'm not going to comment on that one at this point, sorry. Where did the theme for the song come from? Oh. Yeah, it's interesting because usually I don't think like, oh, I have this personal experience, I have to put it into a song. Usually that's not the case. But often I look back at the lyrics that I wrote. I'm like, wow, this totally represents that area for me. And I was planning a world trip 6 months, all completely around the globe, when I was writing the lyrics. And yeah, so Come and Fly Away With Me. Yeah, that was the theme of my life back then, because I was booking 14 flights around the entire Earth. You did all the instruments first. That's fucking crazy. Good job. Thank you. Did Ty confirm that he'll be on Discord next week? No, good. Great that you remind me about that. Let me write that down. Oh, I think I wrote it down. I think I just haven't asked him yet. We had oops. We had a very crazy week. It had nothing to do with anything artistic or job related or anything like that. It's our favorite cat ran away. It's just not coming back. And it's like my wife and my daughter are absolutely in love with this cat. So we were spent the entire week trying to get this cat back. So it's been my week so far. Do we have anything else? What's your favorite plugin to use? Depends on depends on the use case. Instruments, Serum 2 is freaking amazing, but also Pigments is really good. So when you want to create sound, those two are really, really, really good. Thank you for this breakdown once again. Which song breakdown do you plan to do next? There's so much value. Thank you very much. I did one for. Oh yeah. I think the next one's gonna be the upcoming song, Genius. That's gonna be the next one. How old were you when you started producing? I was 21 years old, but I made a lot of music before. So I started making music very serious and practicing a lot of piano, practicing 4 hours per day when in my teenage years already, but I had no idea how to produce music. And then when I was 21, I didn't really know what to do professionally. I first wanted to become a conductor, then thought, okay, but that's not very creative. Music producer was not something that was really on my radar. It was way less obvious and popular than it is these days because there was no YouTube and no social media. Like you would never hear about music producers. But I saw someone else, like I kind of saw a magazine about music production gear lying around, and I just picked up the magazine and read it a little bit about it, and then I thought, hey, this is what I want to do. And then I had saved some money for a car, and instead of buying a car, being 21 years old, instead I put everything into studio equipment and I had no idea how to use it, and then just kept making songs, and they were awful. They were absolutely horrible. A little story that I keep telling is, so I produced a song. I went to a club very early so I could play to the DJ. The DJ put on the song, no audience there at all because the club just opened. Then the guy who made the light came there, heard the song, and went to the DJ, say like, what are you playing? This sounds awful. This is horrible. And I was just standing right next to him. So yeah, glorious start. Yeah, and then I studied audio engineering, and then slowly over many, many years, I got better. Okay, what else do we have? Thank you very much. Have you done breakdowns for any of the parodic songs? No, I don't think so, but we're gonna catch up on those for sure. Yeah. This video is gonna be visible. Don't worry about it. I'm also gonna upload this on YouTube probably tomorrow or in the next couple of days. What music did you listen to when growing up? Yeah, kind of the stuff. You can really hear the influence. There are kind of three styles of music. Classical music a lot. My parents were listening to classical music. I love classical music. So Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, the usual suspects, a lot. So I remember listening, especially Beethoven. We had a lot of Beethoven running in the background. Then video game music, because I love playing video games. I had my first Game Boy and then the NES when it came out. So that I loved. And then dance music. So as a teenager, I went to the Love Parade in Berlin and to other rave parades. That was freaking amazing. Absolutely. I had an incredible time there. So techno, dance music, electronic music was a huge movement in Germany in the 90s. So that's the next thing that I grew up with. And then a little bit of like blues music as well. So on the piano. So those 3-4 styles of music were the ones that really influenced me. I think you can kind of hear that, like when you listen to, for example, let's say Monody. You can hear the video game influence. You can hear the classical influence. You can hear the electronic music influence. Make a René Latour song breakdown. No. I love this breakdown. I never realized how sophisticated the song was. It's impressive to see how these simple elements put together could make something great. Thank you. Yeah. yeah, it's kind of always when I play it back, I kind of think like some producers are really crazy about sound design, and then some songs I was more crazy about sound design myself, but sometimes it just wasn't like kind of just a couple of presets just used the right way. Yeah. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you all so much for joining once again. I hope you learned something. I will upload this to my vlog in the next couple of days, I think. And next week, new songs coming out. It's called Genius, and it's with Shia Maisel. Yeah, very, very much looking forward to that. And I, hope to see you in the YouTube premiere maybe, or at least around on Discord. So long, have a great weekend, and how do you stop streaming? There we go. And yeah, see you next week. Boo boo.